Alright, so this is streaming for the first time on YouTube. Just double checking here to see how this works. I've never done this before, so I'm just going to see my channel to see if I can see that it's live. Alright, see it's there. Alright, cool. I'm not expecting anybody on here, but I'm just going to get into this. So this is the progress that I've made with Myoka first person view. You can download this today on the Steam Marketplace. The demo is free. The game is going to be free. And so I'm using the demo to basically give you an opportunity to fly, so you don't have to sit around waiting. Let me turn this audio off from the Unreal Engine. Turn Steam audio off. Turn Unreal Engine audio off. Alright, so this is the progress, and I'm using the demo basically so you don't have to sit and wait until the game is completed. Alright, so now I'm recording. I got the graphics and put them at the highest setting. Alright, so while recording, I'm still getting 60, 70 frames per second here. So if I were to cut the screen recording off, the streaming off, I would be closer to 90 and 100. So this is already flyable. Alright, this is not good enough for racing, but there's no racing here. Alright, so I'm building a real life experience with the FPV niche. And so, we don't need the most ultra fast FPS. We need really good graphics, and we need a smooth flight feel. And so far, this is already very good. Alright, so the one thing that Myoka can boast about over everybody else is gravity. So none of these other games have proper gravity yet. Alright, I'm going to show you. So when we go up in the air, and you can try this with your favorite FPV simulator. Alright, so watch the heads up display. The fastest I can go is 165 kilometers per hour. Now I'm going to free fall, and you're going to watch the speedometer. 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, right? It consistently goes faster, just like real life, right? The speed of gravity is 9.81 meters per second squared. That means that as soon as you start free falling, you start accelerating, right? And so in the other games, they usually top out at around 80 miles per hour. So you're falling, right? You're free falling, and then you reach a speed of 80, and then you continue free falling at that slow speed, right? That's why every other sim has float. It feels like you're constantly floating, and Myoka does not. You never feel a sense of floating, because if you ever hit the throttle or leave the throttle at zero, gravity starts pulling. Even while you're throttling upwards, there's always a constant pull of 9.81 meters per second squared, which is true to the physics of real life. Alright, so the best thing about Myoka is that there's no floatiness. Alright, all that floatiness that we experience in every other simulator, Velocidrone, Liftoff, Trip, Uncrashed, DRL, FPV Logic. Those are my favorites right there, and I've put, over 1,000 hours into all of them combined. And so, I can't fly them anymore, because as soon as I log on, I immediately feel the lack of gravity, and it's just no longer enjoyable for me. Alright, so that's what we've got going here. Alright, now what we need to improve on is two things. Number one, most people still can't connect their controllers. Alright, and so I have my coder who's working on that right now. And all we're missing, I believe, what's going to fix it, is you got to center the sticks before you start flying. And so here's the current process. Alright, you go here, you go to control, and then you select the axes on the controller. So I'll click throttle, and I'll choose which one's throttle. Then I'll click yaw, and I'll choose the yaw. Okay, so that's one. Second step is coming here and circling, right? And so here's the issue that we're having. Most people can connect, and they can do roll and yaw and everything, but then when they fly, they say that the throttle is mushy, right? And so they try throttling it up, and the quadcopter doesn't want to go anywhere. And so I'm having the coder. I can't tell you his name, right? Because he's my coder. I don't want nobody stealing him from me. All right. And so what he's working on is that before you do this circular motion, you're going to come in here. You're going to have to set them to center, click OK, and then do your 3 circles, and then boom. I believe that's going to fix everybody's controller issues. All right, so that's the first thing that I need to improve here. The second thing is continuing to optimize so that I can make this open world a reality. So right now I have the individual levels flying over 200 frames per second. If you decide you want to drop the graphics to 0, right? I don't like how that looks, so I'm going to put the graphics at 0. All right, so that's at cinematic, and then this is at 0. All right, so while recording, I'm at 115. So if we remove the recording, that'll be about 135. I usually lose 20 frames per second when I start screen recording or streaming here. All right, so 135 is on par with the rest of the FPV simulators as far as the frames per second. But here's the thing, I need to maintain that when I have 10 other environments in here. And so right now I have one environment, and we can do about 130 frames per second. I have a new updated version, right, that I haven't uploaded to Steam yet. And in that version, I'm getting an extra 20 or 30 frames per second. All right, so we're going to have this at about 150, 160 frames per second, which is already good enough. If I could bring that to the open world environment, then we're good to go. But as is, I still have to do some more learning as far as how to optimize these levels, or I'm going to have to hand the project off to somebody more experienced who can optimize it further for us. All right, so that's where I'm at. And so I'm releasing levels, and you're going to get to fly them if you prove that you know how to fly. So if you come over here, there's a spawn point here, so you don't have to worry about trying to find this. All right, so you can spawn here, and all you got to do is collect these propellers. And for every 100 that you collect, you get to unlock a new level. All right, so I got to update that heads-up display because it's not collecting, it's not showing how many you've collected. The game is keeping track of them, so it works, but I forgot to unhide the heads-up display there. All right, so all you got to do is collect these 100, and for every 100 that you collect, you get to unlock a level. Now, you don't have to unlock them in order. So you're going to unlock level 4 before you unlock level 2. All right, but you only get to unlock one level for every 100 um, propellers that you collect. And this is how I go ensuring that people are staying in the game, because that triggers the Steam algorithm and allows us to grow basically. So since this is a free game, I have to continually create gameplay to ensure you're not just logging on for 10 minutes, flying, and then logging off. That's bad for the algorithm. All right, and so my objective is millions of downloads, which I do believe is possible. And so in order to do that, I'm combining the FPV niche and I'm creating an RPG game. So the home level is where we're going to spawn at to start the game. And it's like you're going to have a very simple drone to fly in your neighborhood, right? And then as you perform jobs around the city, you can come here and purchase upgrades and level up your character. So this is an outside mall, still working on it. I'm going to put up some buildings next to it. But I like the escalators and the stores are outdoor like this. So we are keeping this part of it. And so when you come in here and you're in walk mode, you can go inside of these stores, and I'm going to make it so that you can upgrade your parts in game, and you can click through to the website if you want as well. So this is the first store. This is going to be the DJI affiliate store. And so my coder is also working on this. You're going to get to the individual um, drones here. So we got the DJI Mini 3, we got the DJI Air 3, we got the DJI FPV, we got another DJI Mini, and then we got another DJI Air. So when you click E, it's gonna pop open a window so you can rotate the drone and you can look at all the specific details so you can see the difference between the drones, right? You're also going to be able to click through to the website, and that link is Myoka's affiliate link with DJI. So we signed up for their affiliate program. I ran this by them. So far, they say we're good to go. And so as long as they continue to allow us to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to have every single DJI product in here. You're going to be able to purchase it in game, to level up your experience in here. But you're also going to be able to click through to the actual website to purchase it in real life if that's something that you want to do. So that's how I'm planning to keep this game free. Right now, it's me investing. I find some sponsors every now and then. And so it's going to stay that way until I have enough traffic that the affiliate links are, funding the game on their own. And so this is where you're going to come. So far, I've got 3 stores that I'm working on. There's DJI, because that's the first drone that I ever bought, the DJI Air 3. No, I'm sorry, it was the Air 2. And then I'm going to do Gep RC, right? So we'll put Gep RC maybe over here or across the hall. And then the third is Emacs, because those were the first 3 drones that got me into the FPV niche. So DJI got me introduced to drones and flying and the visuals, right? And then I wanted to control the drone more, so I got into FPV, and my first drone was the Emacs Tiny Hawk. So I'm going to display that in here, and it's going to be the same thing. You're going to walk in, you're going to see all the Emacs products, all of the motors. You can purchase it, upgrade it, go home and build yourself a new quadcopter. Or if you want it in real life, you click through to the website, and once again, the Emacs links will be associated with Myoka's Emacs affiliate account. And then the GepRC links will be associated with Myoka's GepRC affiliate account. All right, and so that's how I plan to make this a whole RPG experience. All right, I've got lots of gameplay. It's currently being worked on. My favorite is the running. All right, so in my career before this, I ran track and field, and I made it to the Olympic Games. And growing up, I always wished that these characters would run faster in the game. Like, I run a lot faster than this in real life. And I hate that they always make these games and everybody's slow because, oh, people aren't that fast in real life. Well, guess what? There's millions of fast athletes on this planet, and we do play video games, and it would be nice if we could go faster just like we do in real life. If you train for a year, you're supposed to be a lot faster in 1 year than you were the previous year. And so I have gameplay in 2 areas for now, on these tracks and then on the sidewalks of the city. And so over here, we're going to have a character, and he's going to be running around the track. And so you're just going to interact with him same as you do in a normal FPV game. I'm sorry, in a normal RPG game. So I grew up playing these, and you go up and interact with every single NPC in the city. Why? Because you want to see if you can have a conversation with them, or if they do special somethings, if there's maybe a little mini game there. And so you're naturally going to see this guy running, and you're going to get in front of him, and you're going to interact. So you're going to hit E, and then he's going to stop his run, and this is the first line that he's going to say. He's going to say, hey, I have 1 repetition left. Do you want to race me? Which, of course, you're either going to say yes or no. If you say no, okay, you go on exploring the city. And if you say yes, depending on where you are on the track, he's going to say, okay, meet me at the starting line. So let's say you met him on the opposite side over there, right? So he would say, meet me at the starting line. So you would run over here. I'm going to have the little arrow pointing, and you're going to wait for him. And then he's going to line up, and you guys are both going to take off. Boom. And so you're going to run laps around this. It's 2 laps. And the way to beat him is to stay in lane 1. If you're swerving and doing all of this, you're going to lose. All right? And so here's how it works. Your character can naturally beat him, right? Out the gate. But then at midnight, same day, the NPC levels up. So if you come back tomorrow wanting to race him, you're not going to be able to beat him. And so what you're going to have to do is level up your sprinting in the game, and here's how you do it. All right, so we got 3 different speeds. We got walk. This is infinite. You can walk for infinite and never get tired of this. Then we got jog. So jog is going to last for 7 minutes. All right. So after 7 minutes, your jog stamina is going to deplete, and you're going to be forced to walk until you recover your stamina. All right. And so then we got speed burst. So this you're going to be able to hold for 5 seconds at a time, because that's real life. You can't hold max intensity for more than 5 seconds in a race. And so after 5 seconds, it's going to deplete, but you're going to be able to improve that 5 seconds as you go improving your sprinting. All right. So with the jogging, so remember 3 speeds. So there's walking and then there's jogging. This improves by simply getting steps in. I haven't decided on the exact number. Maybe 1,000. 1,000 is too little. I'm gonna go maybe like 10,000. 10,000 steps, and you get +1 in your jog speed. And so what that does, it doesn't make it faster. It allows you to hold it longer. So rather than getting tired after 7 minutes and being forced to walk, you'll be able to hold it for 7 minutes and 30 seconds, and then 8 minutes, and then 10 minutes, and then maybe an hour. All right. So that's one. Two is this one, the sprint mode. So as you sprint, right? Every time you go to sprint, you can sprint for less. So first you can sprint for 5 seconds, then you got to catch your breath. Then you can sprint for 4 seconds, then you got to catch your breath. Then you can sprint to 3 seconds. Then you can sprint to 2 seconds. Then you can only sprint for 1 second, and then you can't sprint anymore. The fastest you could go is your jog speed. And so now you're going to improve your sprinting by actually coming out here and doing sprint workouts. I'm going to have that set up as well. It's just a little game. All you got to do is follow the rules, run for this 100 meter straight, walk back, and let's run again. And if you just simply perform the work, you're going to be getting +1, +1, +1. So your sprint speed will go from 5 seconds to now I can hold it for 5.1 seconds. And then I can hold it for 5.2 seconds. And then 5.3 seconds, because that's how it works in real life. Right? You get out there and you run and you can only hold your energy for 5 seconds, and then you're in better shape, and then you can hold it for 6 seconds, and you can hold it for 7 seconds. And so I'm building that in once again to make it a complete RPG experience. Because if it's just flying and it's a free video game, it's too easy for people to come in here, fly for 5 minutes, and leave. And what that does is that hurts my chances with the algorithm. So the only way I make this work is to create gameplay that's going to have you, obsessed and addicted to coming back in here and leveling up. And so that's exactly what I'm doing. So we got the running gameplay. It's real simple, just a little mini game. You got the athlete on the track who's doing laps. And then we also have the same concept but in the city, right? So we got sidewalks all around the city. We got stoplights and traffic lights. And so the character, you're going to see him running around the city. And it's the same thing. When you go to interact with him, he's going to say, hey, I got another rep left. You want to race me? Let's race to the second traffic light. And so that's what you're going to do. You're going to go, you're going to race. At first, you're going to be able to beat him, but then the second time you race him, you're not going to be able to beat him. And so that's going to give you the incentive of not just staying and flying, but actually exploring the city so you can get your steps in and start leveling up your running speed. All right, so I also have drivable cars in here. I don't have it set up on this character. I forgot to delete this. So in the last demo, you could hit E and drive this. I'll put that back in there. I don't have any gameplay for that yet, though. So I got gameplay for the running. I've got gameplay for the flying. That's, taking your drone to do jobs around the city. And so I'm going to create gameplay for the driving. I just haven't really thought of it yet. Right? I know we're going to have a drift mode because I have a drift car in here, and it's really, really, really fun. And so I'm going to create some kind of gameplay with that. Once again, the gameplay is in a way that you can level up over time. So it's not just static. You go in there, you do the same thing every time. You go in there, and at first you're kind of bad at it, and then you keep practicing, and you get better and better, and you get rewards in game. In my experience from the games that I've played and doing the studying, that I've been doing about how to develop, good games, that's what I've been learning. All right, we got to create gameplay that makes it addicting to come back in and level up and level up. That helps the algorithm, and it makes a more immersive gaming experience in here. All right, so this is what we got. For now, I'm going to make it work with the individual levels. But my goal is to get everything working in the same exact one level, which is the open world environment. And so that's where I'm at. So this is Las Vegas. This is Google Maps. And you can load this with key number 4 on the keyboard. And so the graphics aren't very good, right? If you lower it to 0, you can get the most frames per second. And I would suggest you do that because you can't really improve these graphics to 4K because you're restricted to what Google has, and that's this pixelated, N64 looking stuff. But from a distance, it looks really good. So from here, that building looks amazing, and so does that one, and so does the entire city. The only downside is that when you get close, you realize, oh man, this is freaking crap. It looks worse than N64, but maybe in the future they will improve it, or if I get permission, I'll go through and I'll start improving everything. So I'll put real asphalt roads down and I'll put real traffic lights down. And I still have to get some approval from Google to know that I'm, legally able to do that. But if so, that'll make the experience better. But there's probably only so much I can do. But here's the thing: it's still a very enjoyable experience because, like I said, the graphics do look good from a distance, and there's still something very special about a level that never ends, right? It's just there's something that feels really good about knowing that no matter how far that I fly that way, I never run out of space. Like in the regular levels that I create, you get to the edge of the map and there's nothing but blue sky in front of you, and so you just turn around and you keep flying. But this is Google Maps, so I could literally, put the drone to fly in a straight line. I could go to sleep, I could wake up and I can be in New York, you know? And that's just an experience that you really can't get outside of loading the map of the world in here. And so, even though the graphics aren't amazing, if you enjoy flying, especially if you enjoy long distance, then you're gonna love this Google Maps because it's a really good feeling knowing that, like, man, I never have to stop and turn around and go back somewhere because it just continues to load the world, and so I could literally just stay in here and fly forever. And so I'm hoping that one day I can do something a little more special with this. I would need permission from the individual hotels in order to redo the hotels. So that's pretty much out of the question. If Myoka ever reaches the millions of downloads that I believe we can reach, then I do believe we'll have a big enough following that the Win will allow me to do that, and Encore will allow me to do that, and Treasure Island, and Trump Tower, and the Bellagio, and Caesar's Palace. Like at that point, I could approach them individually and ask, hey, I love your hotel. It's beautiful. We have this video game, FPV simulator. We're currently flying in Vegas. Would it be okay if I redesigned the building so that it looks realistic and allow these people to fly in it and experience it and get immersed in it? And maybe at that point they would allow me. Right now, I got 51 subscribers on YouTube. I got 2,000 downloads of a demo game, so I'm not in a position to where I know they're gonna be interested in this. But in the future, I would love to do that. Just take this entire Google Maps and little by little go recreate in every single major city so that it's completely flyable and you can walk in and do everything that you want to do. So I don't know, we'll see. But for now, this is an enjoyable experience. If you're an enthusiast like I am and you just love flying for the sake of flying, you're not in here to be a professional or be a racer or be sponsored, you just love flying, then you're definitely gonna love this. The um, the drone flies definitely better than anything you'll find in Grand Theft Auto or any of the other simulators. Once again, because we have real gravity. So let's check it out here. All right. So I want you to find a skyscraper in your favorite FPV simulator, and then do this. Just free fall. All right, so let's watch the speedometer. It disappears after 10 seconds on its own, so let's watch. And as I'm free falling, faster, faster, faster. And that's what makes it an enjoyable dive. As soon as that is interrupted because the speed halts, you just realize that gravity does not exist in this world. And so, come on in here, dive the tallest building, and then when you try and pull up, if you pull up too late, you can't. Oh, I made it. But you see how it took a while for the motors to overcome that speed of free fall? That's what's missing in the other guys' simulator. So, this is the update. Myoka first person view. It is free. These are the 4 levels. I'll add more, but if you would like more, there's over 20 demo levels. Dinosaur Museum. I got a cathedral. I got downtown spaces. Got a whole bunch of stuff. That's for beta testers. So you pay $5. That helps support development more. That helps even more. And so that unlocks the Google Drive link, so you can go in and you can download more demo levels. I'm just not putting them on Steam yet until we're ready to go and launch the game. All right, so this is my local first-person view. We have 3 levels that you can fly, and we have 1 additional level, a 4th level, which is Las Vegas, Google Maps. But if you have the patience and you want to fly to another city, it is Google Maps, so it will just continually load the city forever and all time. All right, I hope you enjoy it. Once again, my name is Hector Cotto. I'm going to come on YouTube pretty often because I enjoy live streaming more so than trying to make a video and then edit it and do all this other stuff. This is just way easier for me. All right, so I'll be back on maybe tomorrow, maybe later this week. Questions, comments, let me know. Hope you're enjoying the game. Thanks. I'll speak to you next time.